Hello and welcome. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to day two of the World Quest 2.0. My name is Noor. I'm representing Oxfordian College today. Thank you so much for those of you who are joining us right now live on our social media channels, whether that's LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. We try to do these sessions, these orientations, these counseling sessions just to make you more aware of your career choices and what you should be looking at once you're starting to pursue the journey. So, at Expodian, we believe in complete transparency, we believe in inclusive education, providing opportunities from wherever you are, anywhere as part of the globe. And today is day two. Yesterday was an interesting session, and we heard from higher educational experts and from people from the fraternity who have gone the full circle. So we had Supriyo, who joined us yesterday, spoke about just dreaming and designing your career opportunities. And that's a really interesting session. If you've missed out, there's a recording available again on the Oxfordian YouTube pages, Facebook pages, and LinkedIn pages for you to review. We were also joined by Dr. Stephen yesterday from University of Central Lancashire, which is the top destination for top-up programs. So wherever you are joining us from anywhere across the globe, that is where you should be heading and watching and seeking these validations. So today's session, I'm joined by Shazia Hussain, who most of you know and have met over the periods of year, who's the director founder at Oxfordian College. Hi, Shazia.
Hi, Noor. Nice to connect again. And I'm super excited for our audience and those aspiring students who are always looking for solutions and information about studying abroad. So, welcome, everybody.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. So what I'll do is that I'll take you up on the board, Shazia, and I know you have a presentation, and I know we are seeking and talking more about validation. We're talking about seeking the proof points. Educational journey, specifically when it is in the higher education field. We know that parents are concerned about what their children are going to study. Students are more also aware and want to create, conscious decisions. And where it comes to whether you're getting the value for the money that you're investing in yourself, that is also something that a lot of the stakeholder groups that we are taking with would look for whenever they're trying to pursue a career opportunity for themselves. So let me quickly, I know you have a presentation, so I'll put you on the spotlight and just have that presentation shared here so that everybody can see and you can take people through it. Over to you.
All right, thank you, Noor. And just to remind everybody, Oxfordian College is not just a college that was plucked out of thin air. It's taken several years to get to where we are today. We're working on it since 2019. And why? And the reason was that I saw there was a gap in the market for credibility and validity, opportunity for widening participation, inclusivity. And as the founder and director, I do have a co-founder who is also part of the entity. But what I'll say is we are privileged and honored to have you listen to us, but at the same time, that we have worked incredibly hard to bring to you an entity that truly values ethical integrity within global education. So, study abroad experience simplified to enable anybody to enter the market. And before I begin, I also want to say that why World Quest? That's the terminology, title, whatever you want to call it, for our event. And it is about enabling anybody, any part of the world, to understand how they can access higher education and higher educational information. Also, they can validate and quality assure. So we are real. It's not a website that you come across. There's real people, real building, and an accreditation board. I would say a portfolio of accreditations that come with us. And we also want to remind everybody that we do offer free counseling services. IA information, advice, and guidance is critical for us. What I wanted to start off with was just to remind everybody that study abroad is not just an opportunity to gain knowledge, experience, and exposure, but it's also an opportunity for generational growth and impact. Why and how? when you come abroad to study, you are gaining wider experience, you're getting exposure to another culture, another community. You don't only just study, it develops you as a human, it helps you become a person that perhaps you may not develop into in your home country. So I'm just going to give a couple of examples. Some cultures where they're studying at home, students are pampered a lot, they don't have as much responsibility, and it does not prepare them for the real life opportunity of grinding and working and developing. As a student studying abroad, any student that you will meet has the responsibility of their education. But it goes beyond that. Their personal development is enhanced because they do have to work for themselves. They do have to do chores and tasks for themselves, which really develops them as a human being. International education also enables students to get a global perspective, really um, sort of experiential learning of learning in another country and how the curriculum and study skills work. If you're used to rote learning, well, we've come to England, that is not something that you'll be entertained by. It is about critical thinking, it is about research, it is about utilizing your knowledge and skills to interpret and regurgitate in your own words. Exposure to different cultures mentioned as traditions. You meet different students from different parts of the world and you will develop holistically. These attributes are often passed to future generations, fostering an environment of value and inclusivity. So you are really broadening your opportunities for future career success. And we have various partners and accreditations. NCC Education validating our TNE as well as our top-up programs. We've also partnered with many other accreditations apart from NCC, who are really the main sponsor for our event as part of World Quest. But we have Pearson's, we have SQA, which is the Scottish Qualification Authority. We also work closely with TQUK and have multiple courses, ATHE, VTCT, and ASIC, which is the final broader qualification that enables us to offer study in the UK on a short-term visa. And Trinity College, that is giving us, we're working on not just offering courses, but exam registration opportunities as well. So that's just one part of our studying and entering into the UK to do so. But why come abroad? Now, I think a lot of us don't look at the impact that it can have. Choosing to study abroad is just not an expense. People see studying as an expense, and I find it really quite challenging to comprehend. Education is an investment into your future. When you start seeing education as an investment, your mindset will change. I've always seen investing in myself through education to develop who I am from what I was. And I never viewed it as a cost. So once we actually see that, understand that, it will change your perspective. Investing to come, your return on investment is significant. If an international student, I'm just going to give an example of somebody we're going to meet shortly, hadn't taken that opportunity to invest in her or his future through education, they would not leave their home country. Coming to another country to study, as I mentioned, opens multiple doors of opportunity, but also gives you an opportunity to see how perhaps you can settle. You may have a skill set in an industry that has occupational shortage, and you may get hired for a role and can move from a student settlement to a work settlement opportunity. You also have opportunities to network with other international students, and you never know what and where that network will take you. It's truly a global collaboration and host of opportunities. The investment of studying may be seen as significant, but not as significant as a generational change and impact it can have on your generations to come. I know of many students who have come, and one of my business partner is an example, who came to UK as a student and then was able to utilize his knowledge and skills and transform from the classroom to the boardroom as a student to an entrepreneur. And built financial returns, and at the same time now has a family that is also settled here. So I think it's really important to see the value, the true value of education, and especially studying abroad. Not saying it doesn't have the same impact wherever you are, but it's really critical that you understand it as an investment. So how to capitalize? Well, we want to ensure that international education is on a budget that suits you. So we look at every individual case by case, and like to work out a plan. Hence, TNE, which is transnational and understanding transnational education, which means you can still study and gain an international qualification sitting in the comfort of your home, wherever that may be. And you will save thousands of pounds by doing so. I'm going to share with you a roadmap that will demonstrate that, but that is absolutely what transnational education is all about. You do several years of your degree, say 2 years in your home country, and then you can come to UK and do a top up with NCC education, if we talk about the UK space. And there are similar opportunities in other countries as well. So there's a pathway whereby you may decide to embark, and I'm using NCC as one of our partners as an example, foundation year, which is a level 3 qualification, because if you understand the difference between academic and vocational, you can also marry up the alignment. So you may then do your level 4 and level 5 in your home country, and then come to the UK for your level 6 top up. Nowhere on the qualification will it ever say it's done online. This is where the world is growing and going. It's globally bringing everybody together to enable wider participation and inclusivity. So you do not have to travel now to another country to attain a foreign qualification or an international qualification. However, if you choose to, you can. And this pathway will really work out in alignment with your payment and budget. I have seen some of the costings or investment, shall I say, in comparison to home countries not being too far off. There are individuals in countries like India, in Nigeria, in Pakistan, and other parts of the world who are paying significant fees. And I feel that UK offers a standard at a very affordable price. And again, we at Oxfordian will have our ears and time ready for you, listening to you through our counseling sessions to help you identify the right pathway for yourself that will meet the right budget that you have to enable yourself to achieve the goals that you choose to attain. So again, I would really like you to reach out to one of our career counselors. We've got the email address, which is hello@oxfordiancollege.com. You've also got the website, and you can connect through there through the contact page. Just going to ask Noor to remove the slide, and so that I can see you all face to face, and just remind you all that education is an investment in yourself. Let's just see your growth comes. There's a place for skills, but there's a place for qualifications. And when both come together, it truly creates who you are. You will truly transform into the individual you aspire to be. So the email address is on the screen for you to get in touch with us, and we're here to give you further guidance. We have our special guest waiting. I'm going to bring Noor back on, because we have a very integral person joining us today, and he's going to actually validate higher education in the UK, and also the quality assurance aspects of being part of the higher educational entity. He's an independent higher educational consultant, has been working in the industry for multiple years, and I'm sure he's going to share that with you. He's got a lot of credibility in the quality assurance and standards space, so he is actually going to share some quality standards with you as well. I did say that, Malvin, you're going to have an audience of aspiring students, but potential partners, so that is going to be useful. But at the same time, we're also going to have a conversation with Malvin, as to why Oxfordian and how we have worked incredibly hard to attain our accreditations and what those accreditations mean for our audience. Because I have heard a few objections through our chat portals that sometimes it can be seen, oh, Oxfordian is still a relatively new entity, and hence how credible actually is it? And for me, I think it's important for our audience to also understand that these awarding bodies would not have accredited us had we not a robust accreditation journey, if you like. So welcome, Melvin. And I'm sure everybody is going to be keen to hear a little about your background and how you are where you are today.
Thank you very much, Shazia. Hello, everybody. Just picking up on what Shazia just said about Oxfordian's relatively new status. I quite agree that the number of accreditations that Oxfordian have been awarded with don't come by not having the qualities of a serious practitioner in the higher education sector. And Oxfordian is about to go on a second part of its journey further into higher education by arranging a franchise partnership with a UK university or a foundation degree awarding college. And again, that's no mean feat. My presentation, which we'll get to, it's really about compliance and regulation. And unfortunately, as young aspiring students, it's not the most exciting thing that you're going to listen to, but it is important to contextualize the decisions that you will potentially make in hopefully joining Oxfordian in your future career and enhancing that through acquiring a great graduate level employment opportunity, either in the UK or in your home country. So what I'm going to talk about is called academic governance in the private sector. And I have a short presentation which I'll rattle through, and we can take questions afterwards. As I say, this is academic governance is the pinnacle of regulation within the university and college sector, and particularly in the private sector. It's most important that private sector colleges achieve what we call registration with the government's office for students. That is the highest office in the government for higher education. They control, regulate, and set the compliance criteria for all universities and colleges to follow. If the colleges and organisations do not follow the compliance of government criteria, then they are not awarded with accreditations, to which Shazia showed you in her presentation earlier. So to consider coming to Oxfordian is a great choice, and I'm going to tell you why now Oxfordian is good, because the slides we're going to go through that deal with academic governance in the private sector will show you and embed where Oxfordian is on its journey, its future aspiration, its expectations, and obviously the whole of the management and governance of Oxfordian would like you to join them in that journey. So we'll move on. So I do beg your pardon. So the introduction. So the purpose of the presentation is to evaluate how the private sector implements governance frameworks which align with the Council for Universities Chairs Higher Education Code of Governance. This is a code of governance that has been worked out by eminent vice chancellors in the university sector, which deal with a range of areas that you can see there, the focus areas of accountability, transparency, strategic oversight, and continuous improvement. And to put those in context, these are based on recommendations and best practice that has been identified from external quality and standards reviews. Now, the external quality and standard reviews is the inspection mechanism that all universities and colleges go through periodically. Normally on a 3 to 5 year cycle, organisations have to demonstrate that they can evidence the good work that they're doing. And that is done through a team of experts coming in to inspect all aspects of academic standards and quality assurance. So move on to the next slide. So there are 7 primary elements of the higher education code. And the first one is accountability, sustainability, the student experience and quality, equality, diversity and inclusion, staff governance, effective governance, and risk management and internal control. Now, there's a note at the bottom that says these elements provide the foundations for effective governance in the higher education sector and institutions. But it's important that institutions have to implement and ensure and evaluate the effectiveness of their systems and processes that allow them to meet those 7 primary elements. So the importance of this is transparency in decision making and operations regarding accountability. So the key practices relating this now to the Board of Governors. So Board of Governors of a private college or university must ensure accountability by overseeing strategic priorities. They have to comply with legislative and regulatory requirements, the outcome of which will be to provide robust structures that meet external expectations. So just talking around that a little bit, each organisation, for instance, Oxfordian, has a Board of Governors made up of a range of skills and experience, and they have to ensure, that Board of Governors has to ensure that they are accountable for the overseeing of the strategic priorities, and that means the academic health of the college, to ensure that students who study with Oxfordian have the best enhanced student learning experience. Sustainability. Now, the importance of this is that it's got to be long term. You've got to have sustainability, and you've got to be able to maintain your quality and standards. So long-term planning and resource management is key. And the key practices are strategic plans aligned with legal and policy requirements. Now, strategic plans for a college like Oxfordian will include how it will go forward with a potential franchise arrangement with a university. Now, franchise arrangements means that a UK university will come and will evaluate the quality of existing learning and the process and resources at Oxfordian. And if they're satisfied, they will agree to franchise their honours degree programmes, so that students who are studying with Oxfordian will study a university degree, but they will study in the college. And studying in a private college like Oxfordian ensures you have a very key, intimate relationship with your staff, your tutors, and your student practitioner supporters. So strategic plans, that's planning for the future. How many courses are we going to do? What subject disciplines, health, computing, IT, engineering, etc. Those are all strategic decisions that the college will discuss with a potential university provider. So from there, the senior management team in the college, or the executive management team, they have to oversee those resource allocations and performance to ensure that they are providing an environment, either the campus or an online platform, for effective delivery of the programs approved by the university. So the key tools for that are key performance indicators. You may have heard of this term KPIs. there are a series of criteria that help an organisation to actually do an annual performance evaluation of how they are meeting their own criteria internally that satisfies the Board of Governors, but also satisfying external standards and quality criteria as well. The student experience and quality. Now, I think this is a real key one and probably the one that you find of most interest. So from an organisation point of view, the importance is in delivering a high quality education to deliver an exceptional enhanced student experience. So the key practices here are academic standards and quality have got to be monitored by governance structures and particularly the governors themselves. There is a slide where we talk about the constitution of the governance, but just to say, a good governing body should be made up of a range of skills and expertise, but particularly somebody or more than one person with vast experience of academic practice. So they can hold the college accountable, the senior management accountable for student outcomes. That means retention and achievement and graduate employment statistics. So that's a very important role that the governing body do. So oversight of risk management systems, again, is to safeguard educational delivery. So the Board of Governors has got to be in a position to be able to have a risk assessment should any natural disaster befall the college campus, i.e. a fire or a flood or a thing like COVID that came 2 or 3 years ago. The governing body has to ensure that they have plans in place to ensure that student education delivery is uninterrupted. And that is done by producing a document called a Student Protection Plan, which I'll probably say a little bit more about that as we move forward. And then finally, from a student experience, promotion of equality and diversity and inclusion is a key factor, so that the college has to demonstrate that it is open to all who can take advantage of the opportunity to study at higher education level. And again, there's a document produced there called an access and participation plan or statement. And that statement has to be approved by the Office for Students in order to the college to continue admitting students of all races, all colours, all creeds and so on. All who've got that opportunity and can obviously study at the level of higher education. Equality, diversity and inclusion, we touched on it there, but obviously creating an inclusive culture that values diversity. Governance principles explicitly support EDI, and it's important that the governors do challenge the management of the college to ensure that all processes and procedures and policies are in place to ensure that quality, diversity and inclusion is working in practice and not just on a policy or a process. So the SMT needs to ensure compliance with health and safety, equality and safeguarding regulations to make sure that all who study either online or within the campus is equally safeguarded by the criteria that the governors put in place. Staff governance. Now, this is an important one because it brings in, whilst the governing body has to remain independent of the academic process, staff governance is an additional layer of governance that is transparent and effective and includes management staff in all the processes of governance. So clear recruitment and performance management processes need to be in place to ensure that governors and key management staff are meeting criteria that allows them to carry out their role effectively. An active staff participation in decision making through academic boards. So we will come on to the academic process, but it is important that you understand there are two layers of governance. There's the governance body itself, and there's academic governance, which a key committee called the academic board has to report to the board of governors with the outcomes of academic performance, student engagement, etc., etc. So effective governance, which covers both the board of governors and staff governance, obviously boils down to efficient decision making and continuous improvement. And that continuous improvement is a really important criteria, because if a college does continue to improve, it demonstrates that it's got policies and procedures and processes for it to allow self-evaluation and an ability to find out when things are going wrong, they can put them right, or when things are going right, they can share good practice with other staff and all stakeholders, members of employer groups and so on, who will all contribute to continuous improvement in the organisation. So key practices include diverse representation on the board of governors, as we spoke about, include independent members, and particularly important from your point of view, student representatives. So each board of governors and academic board and other committees in the college will have a student representative there to not only listen to aspects of outcomes of governance decisions, but to actually contribute with issues and criteria coming up from the student body, which is their job to ensure that they hold regular meetings with their peer groups to find out what's working well, what's not working, how can we change it, and so on. This is done in a formal manner, and the committee structure ensures that student issues are key on the agendas of boards of governors and academic boards to make sure that if continuous improvement is required, then it's actually done, it's actually monitored, and the action plans are produced to ensure that that continues. So regular reviews and amendments to governance frameworks are key. Now, these are done with on an informal basis. Governors can contribute to things that they feel needed, but there is also a formal process called a governance effectiveness review, which is taken out externally to the board of governors by the senior management, and the board of governors is held to account itself. So review on their process, on their processes, and their achievements over any particular academic year. So you can see hopefully what's going on in governance is about regulation, about compliance, but it's also about self-monitoring, self-evaluation for the end goal to make sure that students have the best possible education, the best possible environment, and the best possible staff to deliver their education. So risk management and internal control, we've touched on this again, but it is about safeguarding institutional operations. Obviously, a college has to make sure that its resources, its campuses, its operational aspects, all systems are monitored regularly to ensure that they're effective and where they go wrong, that risk management structures will pick up those things, and systems and improvements are put in place to ensure that physical resources can sustain the educational journey of both the staff who are delivering qualifications and particularly you as students who are studying there. So it's important that the college complies with external risk management regulatory frameworks, and the SMT ensures that there is also robust financial management to ensure that the college is in a good financial state and not in a case of going bankrupt or having to close down when students are, particularly if you've got 3 years of honours programmes running, you have to ensure that you've got good sustainable financial management alongside risk management of operational issues too. So some recommendations for enhancing governance criteria. So enhancing decision-making processes. streamlining governance using digital tools for efficiency. Now, probably as you know, you students are probably far more adept at using IT, computing, laptops, call it what you will. It's certainly in my case. Governing bodies tend to be people of advanced ages like myself who've got experience, obviously, to do the job, but we're not always the best placed to take advantage of using digital tools. So it's important that the institution staff develops governors and makes digital tools available for decision-making processes, for meetings, for action plans, to be done a little bit quicker, so outcomes can be implemented to continue that continued enhancement. So increased accountability. Again, accountability means that what you do is under the microscope and you have to deliver under those key performance indicators. So clearly delineating the roles and regular training for governors is an important aspect of ensuring that they stay relevant, so they understand what's going on in the external higher education sector through changes in government policy, but also understand any potential changes with the colleges, franchise university partners for the delivery of those honours programmes. Stakeholder engagement, this means anybody connected to the college, so wider groups like employer groups, community groups, students, active practitioners from government, local MPs, things like that. They all have a role to play in contributing to enhancing several aspects of the college's work. And the assurance processes, so introducing regular audits and benchmarking activities against sector standards. Basically, that means continuing with that self-evaluation, monitoring through term by term, ending in an annual monitoring process, which then tells the Board of Governors how the college has done over the academic year in terms of the successes of students, the successes and increase in resources to support teaching, etc., etc. And I guess, importantly still, contributing to the continuing professional development of staff, who are the lifeblood, along with students, of the organisation. So the evidence of implementation of these things are reduced turnaround times and increased stakeholder satisfaction. So key important decisions undertaken by the governors should make for reduced turnaround times and getting things done. If things get done to people's wishes, then we get what's called stakeholder satisfaction. Now, we can get that through regular student satisfaction surveys, which I know Oxfordian are very good at doing, and that ensures that they can meet any potential problems head on over the course of the academic year and put criteria in place to continue, hopefully, solving a problem and enhancing existing practices. So accountability improvements would include comprehensive role and responsibility matrix are updated regularly. That means, so KPIs are set against different layers of people who manage and govern, so they get action plans to deal with and so on and so forth. So these have to be uploaded and evaluated regularly to see whether there's compliance in those, to ensure that all aspects of management are accountable for the roles that they do. Stakeholder engagement, so forums, committees with diverse representation, so all forms of things like employee forums, so inviting employers into the college to talk about opportunities post-study, at graduate level, so on and so forth. But forums including staff and students as well, talking about academic pedagogical issues that take their learning further and further. And the quality assurance processes, so again, regular audit and quality assurance framework. So this is a job that I do. I do this for Oxfordian. I've done it for the regulator in the UK, whereby regular audits means you look at the performance outcomes, you look at the quality of teaching and learning, the quality of assessment, the quality of performance monitoring, the quality of information on the website, all things like that to ensure that everything is clear, everything is up to date. So when students access websites or when they're in the college, accessing education information from any source, that what they're getting is current and productive information. So finally, future recommendations would be for any college will be regular training, so continuous professional development for staff to align with evolving best practices. So ensuring that staff, perhaps working in the health sector, can get access to current healthcare practice developments to improve their own teaching. Again, across all different disciplines, could be IT, for instance, moves very, very fast. So CPD, continuing professional development, is a real must for staff involved in that area. Enhanced communication, again, strengthening channels to keep stakeholders informed and engaged. Stakeholders including students internally, externally, community bodies, employees, etc. Enhanced communication means that information is shared faster, decisions are made faster, therefore there are better outcomes all around, particularly for students. Technological integration, leveraging technology to and data-driven decision making. Most key strategic decisions these are made by looking at data. What is data telling us? How can we use data to improve our services and so on and so forth? And I believe we have a conclusion. So private sector colleges can achieve alignment with the CUC code by emphasising accountability, sustainability, student experience and effective governance. And I can assure you that currently I'm working with Shazia and the staff at Oxfordian. We are currently in the process of applying for registration to the Office for Students. And all these things we've talked about, Oxfordian College is actively engaged in at present. So they're looking at their accountability, how sustainable they are, what is the student experience and how they can improve it. And then last but not least, effective governance processes. So recommendation enhancements ensure continuous alignment with sector expectations, and commitment to governance excellence fosters institutional success and stakeholder trust. And I hope that that's come through in what we've said. I'm sorry if it's been a little bit dry, technical, compliance and regulation, not the most exciting, but there we go. I hope you've enjoyed that. I think one will just say questions and discussion. Somebody's saying that's very informative.
Yeah, thank you, Malvin. There were some questions that came through,
okay,
which I mentioned to you as well. It was about the validity and the quality assurance, which you've kind of gone through quite in detail. And the fact that I'll tell you right now, Malvin's not easy. I get phone calls from Malvin. I get emails from him. Shazia, where's this? Did you not send me this? So it is quite robust. The quality assurance part of any entity is robust. And if we are going to go through this quality assurance for OFS, it's not easy, is it, Malvin?
No, it's not. It's very forensic. So the college says it's doing this. The college says it's doing that. It has this resource, that resource. The college has to be able to evidence that in a document that I'm helping to write for the college. But somewhere down the line in mid-2025, Oxfordian College will have an inspection from OFS to test the validity of the documentation, the practices and the process and so on. And I won't say hopefully, because I'll tell you now, Oxfordian will successfully get registration. And basically what that means is that Oxfordian College is accepted into the community of UK universities and colleges who have the ability to access public funds via the student loan company. So they will be able to admit students who can claim the student grant and the student tuition fee loan and so on and so forth, which is very important for organisations. So the whole sustainability, financial sustainability improves, more finance coming in, ploughed into resources, gives a better educational experience. And Oxfordian are very well on the way, as you've seen through the previous talk with Shazia, which I found very interesting and thoughtful as well.
Yeah, I think it's really important people see whatever educational pathway they go into as an investment rather than a cost.
Yeah,
And once you change the terminology, it really changes one's mindset. I having working with yourself have seen the rigor that we have to put into getting
yeah,
policies and procedures into place. Again, all the awarding bodies that we have achieved.
yeah,
I personally have put the time and effort in, so it's not
yeah,
that. And I think that should give people peace of mind as well, that we understand from grassroots what the requirements are. We can talk
yeah,
about it. Sometimes you
indeed.
can hand that over to somebody else. And even with Malvin working with us, we work closely together to
Yeah,
ensure that the knowledge is shared across both of our desks, and we are
indeed.
speaking the same language. So thank you, Malvin. I'm sure
Thank you very
everybody
much.
found it very, very informative and
Good.
useful. And we are super excited to have you on board working with us. We're excited to share our governing board at the back end. We have already got acceptances and it will be going live very soon. So
Excellent.
everybody
Excellent.
watch the space, because one thing I've learned is we don't try, we get things done. If I commit, and Malvin knows that, and the deadline is in place, it has to be met. So
Exactly.
thank you, Malvin, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Very kind. Thank you very much. It's been very enjoyable. Thank you, Noor. Thank you,
Malvin,
Shazia, and thank you, audience.
thank
Thanks,
you.
Marwan. Thank you
Take
for
care.
being here. Take
Thank you.
care.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Right, Noor, so we're going to do some shout outs to some of our international partners. I
Absolutely.
see Tycoon International are online. I want to ask them if you've got any questions, any objections, do put them in the chat. We are all about transparency. We are here for everybody to fully understand the process and validate who we are, and also help you grow as our partner in terms of enabling you success, because your success is our success. I believe we also have, and I can't see in the comments, but I can see in my chat that we have another partner, which is our other entity, My University Connection. And just to add to that, My University Connection is out of India and they are working with us closely there. And we would like to introduce one of our candidates today, who was, and I'm going to allow her to share her journey. I don't want to take the limelight away, but My University Connection being a partnership in partnership with Oxfordian, but also having worked closely with My University Connection, Manur Hussain, who is coming to you all shortly to share her student experience from Pakistan to Oxford, and how My University Connection helped her achieve her goal. So without further ado, Manur, we're going to share this. You're going to take the stage and share your student journey so that you can inspire many other people who are sitting on the fence to make that decision. So, Noor, you can put me backstage and let Manur take the stage.
Absolutely. No, we'll have you right here as well, Shazia. So, welcome, Anur. Let's just start ahead and, just introduce everybody. What do you do? How was the journey like? Where are you currently studying? All the gist.
So, hi everyone, my name is Mano Hussain and I'm from Pakistan, and I'm extremely honored to share my journey in higher education with you today. Now, starting from the beginning, from being a curious student at the very beginning of my academic journey to where I stand now as a university student studying law at Oxford Brookes University, the path has been full of challenges, lessons, and growth. Growing up, I was always curious about how the legal system functions and its impacts on the society. So, unfortunately, I didn't have the option to study law in my high school as there were no course was not offered at my regional colleges near me. So, traveling like 100 kilometers away was not practical for me at the time. So, instead of like wasting my time, I chose to pursue medicine. And as it seemed like the best option for me at that point. However, 2, 3 years after finishing high school, I came to realize that medicine was not something truly meant for me. Despite this, I performed well academically, received good grades, and had supportive professors who encouraged me to continue in the field. But I could not ignore the fact that I didn't enjoy it. And most importantly, it didn't quite align with my long term goals. This was the defining moment for me that solidified my desire to study law. Now, after finishing my high school, I began exploring universities in Pakistan and the future prospects in medicine. However, I realized that the available options didn't align with my goals and there were no future opportunities for me in medicine in Pakistan. This led me to decide on studying abroad and switching my field of study. Now, deciding to study abroad was not an easy choice for me. Like many others, I faced doubts, questions like, oh, am I good enough for this or can I afford this? But one moment that stood out for me was that at the end, it would all be worth it. So it was now time to explore universities abroad. I researched options in America, Germany, but UK stood out due to its strong academic reputation, and I decided to pursue my studies in the UK and Oxford Brookes University. So, Oxford Brookes seemed like the best choice for me. However, after submitting my visa application, the process turned out to be lengthy and challenging. Given my history of multiple UK visa rejections, securing a visa felt even more daunting. I was eventually called for an interview, which made me extremely anxious. But fortunately, I had tremendous support from my university connection, whom I had chosen to assist me with the admissions and visa process. Their exceptional guidance helped me a lot in successfully passing the interview and secure my visa. However, the delay that caused me to miss the first few weeks of my classes. By the time I arrived, assignment deadlines were already approaching, which made me extremely anxious. Now, the academic environment was entirely different from what I had experienced back in Pakistan, and I started feeling overwhelmed and started questioning myself. I often questioned myself if I would make it or not. At one point, I even wanted to give up and just return back home. But through the consultations and great student support offered at the university, I was able to calm myself down, through which I learned the value of resilience and asking for help. Now, one of the most valuable lessons that I had learned in these past 2 to 3 months that I've been here, 2 months exactly, is that asking for help can make a world of difference. It is essential to seek out and utilize the support that is available to you. And the assistance I received from the university played a crucial role in my journey so far. And now, as I near the end of my first semester in my university, I'm excelling in my studies and I truly enjoy studying law. And I believe it's essential to pursue what your heart desires. Following your passion not only then enhances your motivation but also helps you do well in your studies.
Wonderful,
And
Manu. I'm going to stop you here because I'm enjoying it so much, but I wanted this to be like a conversation that we can also have. So
yeah,
you're talking about obviously students, a lot of kids like yourself, they go through this process day in day out. What is the interview experience going to be like? What kind of questions are they going to ask me?
yeah.
I'm really anxious. And then you were saying that, over there, the right kind of counseling. So, what do you really
Yeah.
think that, if somebody is looking for, let's say, seeking the right kind of audience, the guidance from any, let's say, like a student advisor or a counselor, what was your, key points that help you calm down your anxiety and just give it your best
So,
shot?
my experience was like quite different because I had like missed first, I'd say 5 weeks of my studies. So by the time I reached, the deadlines for all the assignments were approaching, and the environment was very different, and the studies and everything was very different. And speaking a new language, I was not that fluent in English, and I'm still not. I'm just trying to speak, but uh, I like started first, like when I reached by week 5, I like met up with my student support coordinator and I just told them that I don't think I'll make it and I just want to go back and I probably start from the January intake or something. but they advised me to talk to my module leaders and the student support team that is available at the university. There are so many options, like you can ask for help. They're always available to help you. So I talked to my module leaders, my student support coordinators, and they were able to they just and my international student advice team. So they advised me to even if they told me that even if I like fail or end up failing or anything, they told me that you can always repeat your modules in your free time, in your summers or at the end of your studies. You can extend the visa like that. But I was able to by their help, I was able to calm myself down, and now I'm doing very well. It was it did overwhelmed me at the beginning, but now I'm doing well in the university.
Just going back to your journey of application, because I know there are a lot of students who feel anxious in terms of visa acceptance and visa rejection and ratio and all of those various factors. I'd like you to share with everybody that although Manur's case was quite complicated, but it was her positivity that put her through. And I think it's important because people then can see that actually anything is possible if everything in your file is done properly. The credibility is there, the depth of honesty is there. That is all that matters. If there's been past historical challenges, they should not be a barrier to your future success. So I'm just going to allow you to share a little bit about that. And I know that you reached out to my university connection for support in that matter, but that's why. And I think it's again important people to understand why you should get in touch with these experts because they are here to support and guide you, and you don't have to do it by yourself.
So, the history of my visa, I had probably 3 to 4 UK visa rejections, and it was not an easy task to get the visa. But as I was called for an interview, I was extremely anxious at that point, and I had lost hope at one point as well. That I had lost hope, but I had contacted my university connection for my university admission process and the visa process as well. So they conducted different interview mock sessions throughout, for probably 2 weeks. And the questions that they told me, and they make me practice those questions. I was not aware of those questions. It did really help me to pass my interview. I was not I've never been in an interview before, except my university interview, which is entirely different from what a visa interview is. So I think it is extremely important to seek for a help to seek help from a professional. Like it is extremely important because I didn't know about the questions and about what they would ask me. They really helped me a lot, and I give all the credit to the my university connection. It did really help me a lot to secure my visa.
Excellent. So, Manur, we hear almost the first semester is ending.
Yeah.
So, you're enjoying law. So, what are the future plans? So that what does the future look like? Next 2 years, 3 years? What are the some of your aspirations? Because yesterday, we were talking about students creating and designing their own career path. So what do you have in store? And then what can you share with the audience? What is the plan AP for you?
So as of now, I am in my foundation year, and I'll start my degree next year, probably in September. So I am uh, contemplating between two choices at this point. I'm confused between international relations with business or criminology. So these two are the options I'd probably go for, and I've booked an appointment with the careers team at my university, and I'll probably go and talk to a professional about this and the questions that I have in my mind. So after completing my bachelor's, I do plan on giving the bar exams here in the UK, and then go for my master's. And I have planned up till my master's, and then inshallah in the future I'll work
Wonderful. Sounds
everywhere.
exciting. And you see,
And
this is what we were discussing, Shazia, the other
yeah,
day, that the choice really opens up for you because you get an opportunity to study with different disciplines. And we always tell our students that you need to understand the UK education space. You need to understand what the different levels are going to offer you. You need to understand entry exit qualifications, as I like to call it, because that is where the skill set adds on, and that is where you can actually build up on your existing portfolio. So Manu, awesome, well done, and we're sure that you'd be here. Shazi, you want to add
yeah,
something
I
to it?
think she's also growing as an individual. I believe coming here, and I'm sure she's looking for work opportunities as
Yeah.
well. And so it goes back to my presentation right at the start that education is an investment into your future. It can lead to generational change and impact. But at the same time, you, as an individual, you grow holistically. I'm sure you've met a lot of students from lots of different backgrounds, and you have actually now experienced true internationalism, which if you were studying in Pakistan, it would still be international, but not truly experiential
Yeah.
international. So, how do you feel when you interact with other students and you think about, okay, I'm going to step in the work world a little bit because I want to gain real time money making experience, even if it's for yourself? You may be getting a lot of support from your family, but I'm sure you feel, or are you feeling, I'm moving towards or getting closer towards my financial and independence as well as professional independence?
Well, I must say that I have learned a lot over the past few weeks. Like it's been probably 6, 7 weeks, but I've learned a lot at the university. The cultural shift and overall experience have taught me so much, which I think I would not have been able to learn in Pakistan. And I'm confident that these lessons will greatly benefit me in the future. Now, the university itself offers like internship opportunities from which then they do guide you how you can do part-time jobs in the university related to your studies, so it won't impact your studies and it will like help you in your studies. So I am planning to like do internship in the university as well regarding like my career ahead. If,
And like they say, you don't always know exactly how it's going to work
yeah,
out, but the most important thing is to take that step. So, as we close, what would be your message to all of those students who are sitting on the fence thinking, should I or should I not?
but I think like you should probably go for it. Like the key success strategies for me that have helped me a lot as well are managing your time wisely. I know it can be hectic at times when multiple assignment deadlines are approaching, but managing your time wisely, you can deal with it. And staying organized and actively participating in classes and actively speaking and building strong relationships, which is definitely one of the major like which is definitely very important in the university. And building strong relationships with your fellow classmates and instructors, building these relationships in the university can greatly benefit your job life as well. Now, this networking can open the doors to new opportunities and can help you gain industry insights, seeking help when needed, and using all the available resources like libraries and all the support can make a big difference. And most importantly, setting clear goals for your future and staying motivated are also essential. And additionally, I believe that balancing your academics with your self care can help students perform exceptionally well. And the journey through education is not just about good grades, but it is about growth. So, in
Absolutely.
conclusion,
I
yeah,
will echo that. It's not just about grades, it's about your
grades,
professional and holistic growth.
yeah.
And on that note, I'm going to thank you so very much. You've been a huge inspiration for all of the, I would say, young females out there. I'm sure a lot of male our colleagues and our aspirational students also thought, if she can do it, why can't I? So if you're sitting on the fence, guys, it's time to make that decision. So I'm going to say thank you to Manur and goodbye, so that we bring our session at World Quest 2 to the last segment, if you like. And I think, Noor, this is perfect for us to now move on to just sharing the accreditations, closing Manur, all up, and her journey. But then what Malvin said about quality assurance and standards, and really close on the note that why Oxfordian?
Mm.
Why do we stand out, and why should students look at what we have to offer and get in touch, at least get counseled, if not anything else? And I'd say that to our partners as well. So thank you, Manur, and I wish you a safe journey home.
I would like to thank everybody for giving me the opportunity to share my journey and experiences with you. And thank you, everyone, for your time and attention.
Thank you so much. And I
Thanks,
hope
Manur.
that we've had an impact on our student community.
Absolutely, absolutely, and also I think speaking on behalf of the agents also, the counselors also, the educational consultancy firms also, Shazia,
Yeah.
that's a huge part of the entire study abroad journey. So pick wisely, pick where you can find compassion, pick where you can find empathy as well, just to like understand that it is a tedious process, it is a little bit nerve-wracking as well. You could see that we chose Manur for this particular day because her journey was full of ups and downs, lot of speed breakers, lots of rejections, etc. But then getting there, that's extremely important. I think one thing is also worth mentioning here that uh, some people would think that you'd be counseled in a way or just incorrectly counseled that the visa processing is really easy. It's not. A
Yeah.
lot of your credentials, a lot of your extracurricular, a lot of what you have to put into to make your resume strong, that has to be there, and that journey essentially starts way before you are even thinking about applying. So for all of you who are in your teens, in your GCSEs, O levels, matriculations, 10th grade, 12th grade, whatever basic foundation qualifications you are doing, just make sure that you're value adding on your resumes and just exploring other particularly skill sets that is going to help you in making a strong, viable case, and your application, your visa application should stand out.
I truly agree on that one. And I think sometimes it's just getting all your ducks in a row that makes the difference. And I'm going to put this message out to all our fabulous partners as well, that we're here to support anybody and everybody. We're here for your students. We're here for anyone that needs additional, I would say, information, advice, and guidance. The accreditations are on the screen. As Malvin said, they take time, energy, and rigor. And
Absolutely.
Noor has joined me in some of the EQA, external quality assurance meetings, and they are not straightforward. They do delve deep. It's a bit like a deep dive into what you have on offer. And there is a cross, or I would say triangulation of information from the course curriculum to the policy to the practice. So again, you probably think I keep banging on about validation, but it's so, so necessary that you truly understand that we have the right accreditations, the right ethical guidance, the right aptitude and attitude to guide and support so that you guys are truly successful on your student learner journey, whether it is TNE or whether it's higher education abroad. It's entirely, the decision is yours. We are here to provide the information. We're here to give you the guidance, the counseling, the right guidance and counseling that is suitable or relevant to your circumstances. There's no one size fit all. And again, Manur was a classical example of a challenged case, but we made sure that her partners made sure that my university connection, that she was given the right information, advice, and guidance, and prepped for that interview, that then she was able to get through. And now she is sitting in Oxford studying her dream career at Oxford Brookes University.
Absolutely. And I think just a lot of validation and a lot of comments coming in from Manur, and well deserved as well. And we want more of such Manurs to join up on the journey. Like we said, that we are an inclusive organization. We want that, opportunity for higher education should be made available to everybody. If you have missed day one of the World Quest, so from yesterday's recording, you could also see, study more, make an informed decision. The only reason why we are doing these sessions is for everybody who's watching us and who'd be watching us later on as well, to just make an informed decision. Make sure that you reach out to us. The email address is right here. You want to, explore the website, look at the different array of courses that we have, and figure out and develop your own and design your own career path for yourself. So till we meet you for another World Quest 3.0, this is to thank all of our speakers just from the 2 days: Dr. Stephen from University of Central Lancashire, Supriyo Chaudhary from E1133, Manur Hussain, who's our student studying at Oxford Brookes University, Malvin Buckland, who's working with us as an advisor, and obviously Shazia, to you, for just being a part of it, and for seeing the vision together with me, so that we take all of our information sessions and become the sounding boards for people who are in the higher education space, looking at study abroad opportunities and just creating a level playing field for everyone.
Absolutely. And on the final note, anything is possible. Once upon a time, an entity like this was just something that I thought about, I pondered with. It all started on a lonesome journey. And as you can see, it is now blossoming and growing. Everything happens. What the mind can conceive, you can achieve. Everything happens through partnerships. It's important to make those connections and networking. It's important to make and believe in collaborations, because nothing is achievable alone, and success is always going to be there. And that's the same, I would say, secret sauce for student journey. You just got to decide. Once you've decided, you've just got to take action. You can sit on the fence all your life and you're not going to move. Those who actually become successful are the movers and shakers, the action takers. So, on that note, I'd also like to echo a thank you to everybody for joining us today, and look forward to seeing you all. Thank you to all our partners again: My University Connection, Tycoon International, NCC Education. That were the three key main partners for this event, and we look forward to further collaborations and further connections with other awarding bodies as well. And Malvin, because he is working very closely with us in moving forward our, I would say, college entity from where we are in terms of university partnerships, as he mentioned, and also OFS. So thank you all and have a lovely evening, because I'm sure it's evening where everybody is right now.
Absolutely. So thank you so much, everybody. For our next World Quest 3.0, let me give you a little bit sneak peek. We'd be going from South Asia a little bit towards the West. So let's see where we take you. But it could be hint, hint. Maybe we speak about Africa. Maybe we speak about the Middle East, because these are the two markets that we'll be working on very closely. And we'll have our partners from Egypt, from Nigeria, and from Azerbaijan, who will be a part of our session. So stay tuned till we get back with another World Quest 3.0. If you want anything, you want to reach out to me, Shazia, and our team, just send us an email, and we are very responsive and we respond back to you. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a great evening. Goodbye.
Thank you.